What's up, everybody? Today we're doing a little bit of a different video. Oh shit on the lens. We're not going to be ripping around with the trucks or anything due to the fact that she's still fucking broken. So the rad stopped smoking. If you guys watched my last video, which I'll put a link right here for, then you would have seen that I overheated my truck really bad while off-roading, and then we had to tow it home. Well, anyway, since that video, I went all the way in there and I replaced the thermostat, which just so happens to be in the most annoying spot ever because of a bolt that's underneath everything and I can't get to shit. But anyway, managed to replace my thermostat and it didn't fix the problem. So sadly, I hate to say it, but it looks like I might have a blown head gasket because every time I fill up the rad with coolant, it just all disappears somewhere. So clearly it's going somewhere it ain't supposed to. So I'm going to be taking in the truck on Monday next week to get looked at and all taken apart and shit. So I'll figure out exactly what happened and be getting it fixed, but that's going to cost a lot of money and it's not good at all. It fucking sucks big time. But anyway, on to today's video. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about a very sad and a very embarrassing day of mine when it comes to my truck and just off-roading and stuff. It's very embarrassing, but you know what? Sometimes we all screw up and sometimes some of us screw up really bad. And this is one of those times that I screwed up really bad. Basically, me and my buddy that I always make videos with, Braden, this is the first time we've ever gone off-roading together, actually. He had a Jeep, he had a little TJ, and I had my truck still. This was back when my truck was on 33s, and I think I had like just the 5-inch lift back then. I didn't really know too much about like what my truck could go through and whatever yet, so I was just kind of going through whatever. And I mean, obviously I had common sense, right? But I mean, never mind. We were ripping around, having a good time, having a good day, going through mud and sand and all this shit. We were just having a blast and whatever. Until we rolled up to this one spot. Oh god, here we go. There's a pond. Yes, a literal pond. And we're like, oh, okay, let's drive through this thing. It looks awesome. Me not thinking, just being a complete idiot, just decides to drive through the fucking water. I wasn't quite sure if it was gonna I was gonna sink in the bed of the pond or whatever. I wasn't sure how soft it was, so I just went through the side of it and it was all good. It didn't sink. So I was like, okay, let's go through this thing again. So I turned around. I was just gonna go through a little bit to the left of where I went through before, but I ended up just not thinking and being an idiot, going big or going home. I ended up driving straight through the fucking pond, like right through the middle of it. Here's a moment of silence for you to watch the video of me driving through the pond. Basically after that, my truck stalled and it didn't make it out of the pond. It was just sitting on the edge of it and we were like, okay, what happened? Like, what's wrong with this thing? Immediately I was like thinking the worst, like I probably blew up my engine or something. But we weren't sure of exactly what I did, so we were kind of just fiddling around with it. We took some shit apart and whatnot and got the intake apart and it was soaking wet, so that's kind of when we knew, like, yeah, he definitely just fucking got water in his engine. Hello? I drove through like 2.5 or 3 feet of fucking water going like 60 kilometers an hour. And I know what you guys are gonna say, oh, if that was a Ford or a Chevy, you would have just made it through fine. Well, actually, last time I checked, they weren't fucking submarines, they were trucks. So there's that. I will admit though, the Dodge does have the air intake in a pretty stupid spot. It's actually right behind the headlight and it's pointing down and everything. Like, it's honestly just in a shitty spot. I've heard of people actually like driving on the roads in the city before when they've been like flooded because of rain or whatever and actually waterlocking their engines. I don't know if they fixed that on the newer models of the Dodge yet, but I know it's pretty shitty on my truck anyway. I've been wanting to put a cold air intake on my truck ever since that happened, so I could have the air intake at a higher point so it's a little more safe when I go off-roading and shit around water or whatever. That wasn't even the worst of the story at all. We still had to figure out how to get this truck out of the middle of the forest to my buddy's cabin. We tried to pull it out with the Jeep first, but the Jeep wasn't working at all. So we had to take his little Jeep all the way down the trail, back to his cabin. His grandpa came with his truck and towed my truck down a major highway with no power steering at all. Oh my god, we had to take this turn going like 30 off the highway, and I had no power steering at all, no power brakes or anything. And I just thought I was going to keep going straight. It wouldn't even turn, it was ridiculous. And oh, it was just a big mess getting it back to the cabin. But we finally got it back to the cabin. And then I was still like 2.5 hours away from my house and any shop that I would go to repair it with. So had to call a tow truck for the next day. We tried all night long almost to blow out all the water from the cylinder. So we're taking the spark plugs out. Took out 8 different spark plugs. I have 16, but you only have to take out 1 per cylinder, which took such a damn long time. We managed to get some water to blow out, but honestly, the motor is so screwed up. We had no idea how bad it was, but once we got it to the shop and had it all figured out, it was screwed up beyond like repair. So honestly, there was no way that blowing out the water would have even done anything. But we were trying our best. Tow truck bill was like $500. He gave me a little deal, so it was like $330. Just ridiculous shit. Brought it to a shop and insurance covered it, so kind of worked out good for me in the end. I still had to pay like I think $2 grand. So basically my engine is just fully rebuilt now. It took 30 days for me to get my truck back from getting it fixed and all put back together. And oh man, by the time I could drive that thing again, I forgot what it was like to drive it, and I was just so happy to get back in that truck. Holy shit, man. And since then I've been very careful around water, and I'm absolutely not planning on making that same mistake again, ever. And like 3 months after I got it back, I snapped my axle clean off, but that is another story. So my advice to you guys is, if you're driving your rig around water, crawling through it would definitely be a better option than flying through it going like 60. You will do way less damage that way, I can guarantee that. Don't fly through water, and if you don't know how deep it is, you should probably just check it first, my guess. But I mean, it's better to go around mud and shit anyway than water, so screw that shit altogether. Like if you see some water like that laying around, don't be like, oh, I could probably drive my truck through there like I did, because you're not going to be able to, and you're going to sink it. You're too loud! Screwing up my video! God damn it. To all my subscribers and viewers, let me know what kind of videos you like other than truck videos. Planning on doing some cliff jumping videos for sure come summer. Pretty much everybody I've talked to has liked cliff jumping. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like watching people jump off like cliffs into water, so it's pretty cool, I think. And I'm gonna be doing videos about that no matter what, so hopefully you like it. I mean, just let me know what kind of other videos you like. So before I finish this video, I'm just gonna walk out onto the ice over there, see how far I can get. Ah, just kidding, I'm not gonna kill myself. Today's whip, ooh, kill him. I think maybe I'll just start shooting the ripping videos with that rig over there, hey? How about that? Malibu goes 4x4ing, even though it's only 2-wheel drive. And we have a pretty cool idea for next week's video, so stay tuned for that and don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. So I will talk to you guys later. But for now, everybody send some get well wishes to this old bitch right here.